As the queen bee, I would like to tell you about me and how important I am to this colony. Today's topic of discussion is reproduction. Without reproduction, more of us would not exist, and without us, the earth would be a different place. Ruth, why don't you enlighten our audience about why bees are as important as they are?
Globally, there are more honeybees than any other type of bees, hence the world's most important pollinator of food crops. It is estimated that one-third of the food that organisms around the world consume each day relies heavily on pollination by the honeybees. Bees are some of the hardest working creatures on the planet, and because of our labor's work ethic, the circle of life is still in cycle. Without us bees, the trees and crops would not grow, thus other animals that you humans feed on would also have to die off. Hence, the human population would die off as well. Bees, as underappreciated as we are one of the most important keystone species that exist on our planet.
As stated before, I am the queen bee. I am very, very important. But children, you are important. You are important as well. You make the majority of this colony, and I am just a single mother to all you children, being the most dominant bee in this colony.
So how are you able to make all these kids?
First, I would love to give you a little bit of background about me becoming the queen bee. I began my first life in a duel to the death with any other queens present in the colony and had to destroy potential rivals that have not yet hatched. After becoming sexually mature, as I am the only one in the whole colony who is fertile, all I do is mate with the males and continue to lay eggs. From the eggs, whether fertilized or unfertilized, create two different types of bees, workers and drones.
That's us.
Well then, why don't you speak about yourself?
Ladies first.
Thank you. So as a worker, I do all the chores that the queen does without reproduction. I am quite important in this colony, as I do have many responsibilities, such as preserving honey, feed the drones, build the honeycomb, store pollen, remove the dead, forage for food and nectar, carrying in water into the hive, fanning the hive to maintain a good temperature, and guard the nest against invaders such as wasps. I do have a lot of important duties to keep our hive protected. Okay then, drone, your turn.
As a drone, I'm just the product of an unfertilized egg. In retrospect, I cannot contribute to feeding the community. I only have one job, and that is to mate with the queen herself.
That's me.
But I do have a very short span life. After mating with the queen, I suffer very devastating consequences to my body and eventually die after successfully mating with the queen herself.
Thank you for giving us a background of who you are and what you mean to our bee colony. Let's get into the beef of why we are here.
Haplodiploidy has been an evolutionary mechanism that gives rise to the social structure of bees and their colonies. This is how the bee caste develops. In this reproductive mode, haploid eggs develop into males from diploid females. Females develop through fertilization of an egg from the queen and sperm from the haploid males, known as the drone bees. If the female offspring is given royal jelly, the royal jelly will alter her DNA through DNA methylation and cause her to grow larger than other bees and make her the queen bee. My queen, I had a question about the royal jelly and what that was.
Great question. Royal jelly is a very nutritious substance worker bees produce through their glands and feed to the larvae in the potential queen. The goal of the royal jelly is to provide the protein to the potential queen for it to grow to its full latent size. Royal jelly causes DNA methylation, which increases the larvae size of the potential queen so she can grow bigger than all the other bees.
I've also heard that you, the queen, eats little eggs. Why do you do that?
Also a great question. There is only one queen, and I would like to keep it that way. Thus, I consume eggs so I reduce the competition of potential queens so I can reign as long as I can before I start to dysfunction and die.
So it's true that you are the most important being of our colony. We don't know what we'd do without you.
Thank you, my children. I appreciate you as well. I must get back to my duties now as queen. I dismiss you now.
I appreciate your time, my queen. All hail the queen. All hail the queen.